So, hi, my name's Andy Wakeford. I'm the head of the Food Academy here at West Herts College in Watford. Today I'm going to show you how to do celeriac and potato Dauphinoise, which the ingredients are celeriac, potato, we have some Parmesan cheese, some chopped garlic, and over here I have a mixture of milk and double cream, 2/3 double cream to 1/3 milk, which I've infused with some rosemary and a little bit of French mustard. So the first thing I did was took my dish, which I'm using a frying pan today, and I've buttered that with some melted butter and then some chopped garlic spread around. The next thing I'm going to do, my potatoes, which I'm just slicing, take off the ends, they're sort of that thickness, and the same for the celeriac, although the shapes will be different because of the nature of the vegetable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take out some of the excess moisture. So I lift these from the water like this. And we don't want the moisture because that will weep whilst the dish is cooking. So we're going to layer this around the dish, but in alternately with the two vegetables. So we're going to get the effect when they're cooked of the two textures and the two colours coming through. So alternately all the way around. What I'm going to do first is put a little bit of seasoning between the second and the first layer. Some salt and pepper. And a little bit of cheese as well. That will help the flavours to go right through. And we carry on going round. Like that. This dish is quite shallow, so we want it to be sitting in the infused cream so that when it's cooking in the moisture and not drying on top. So when I'm happy with that, I have a jug. I'm going to whip out the rosemary. And then when I'm happy with that, a little bit more cheese on top. And a pinch more seasoning. And then I'm going to pour my cream mixture on top. And what I would do is, partway through the cooking process, I will take it out the oven and push it down to make sure it's fully in the liquid. And just to be sure, I'm going to put some tin foil over the top because I don't want it to go too dark on top too early. So that's what my dish looks like. If I was doing it for a bigger event, I would obviously use a tray or something much larger, but we're only doing a small amount today, so that's as good as we need. Okay, so now this is going to go in the oven for 45 minutes to an hour, and I'll show you what happens when I get it out of the oven. So I showed you how to cut using a knife to get the regular slice thickness. In colleges, that's how we tend to do it because we are training our young people to use knives and to use them efficiently. However, in industry for speed, quite often you would use one of these machines called a mandolin. And basically it's a very sharp blade, and you would move up and down with your potato, and depending on how thick you need it, you can adjust this to suit either very, very thin or like this, or a thicker size like that. It's quite a dangerous piece of kit. If you're not careful with it, you can lose a thumb. With regards to the ingredients, you could substitute the mustard for some nutmeg, which I would do if I was using just potatoes for the Dauphinoise. And other chefs might put an egg yolk in to help the colour and also improve the richness. And some chefs would perhaps put a little bit more butter in the dish to help again the richness. But it's a matter of taste, and whichever chef you're working with, I'm sure he or she will show you the way that they want to produce this dish. So I've removed my Dauphinoise from the oven. It's been in there around 45 minutes, and that's the result we have. We're going to turn it over onto a plate, but you need to make sure first that it's not sticking. So we need to just free up around the edges using a palette knife. Be gently with it because we don't want it to be destroyed. And then possibly use a skillet or a fish slice, small one is good, just to make sure that it's loose. Then the tricky bit, we take a plate, clean plate, hold it very tight. We're going to have to flip it onto its back. So when you've got hold of it tightly, do that. And hopefully almost right, just one piece missing. We can repair that like that. Plates. And then we can push that into the middle like that. Tidy up our plate. Perhaps a little bit of chopped chive to give it some colour on top, like that. And that is my potato and celeriac Dauphinoise, cooked for 45 minutes in the oven and turned out of the pan.